Once I believed I could save everyone, until the day I met her. That day, hope wore the face of a dying girl, and I, a tired nurse with trembling hands, became her final prayer. They called it an accident, but for me, it was a beginning, the moment my forgotten faith woke up again. I was 50 years old, and my life had become a long corridor of hospital lights. I had spent half my years watching people fade, holding hands that turned cold, listening to last breaths that always sounded the same. People said I had courage, but the truth is, I was just used to losing. Somewhere between the births and deaths, between the cries and silences, I forgot who I was before I became a nurse. I used to believe healing was sacred, that it meant something. But when you've seen too much pain, you start treating hope like medicine you can't afford to waste. Until that night, the night she came into my life, bleeding, broken, and burning with the faintest pulse of tomorrow. It happened just outside the hospital gates. A screech of tires, a scream that tore through the rain, then silence, the kind that makes your bones listen. I ran before anyone else did. There she was, a young girl, maybe 21, her body twisted, her dress soaked red. Blood pulled around her like a question no one could answer. Her eyes were open but empty, not fear, not pain, just confusion, like she was already leaving. I pressed my hands against her wounds. "Stay with me," I whispered. "Please stay." The rain mixed with blood until I couldn't tell the difference. When I looked down, it felt like I was drowning in both. I didn't wait for an ambulance. I carried her inside myself, breath after breath, pulse after pulse, as if my heartbeat could replace hers. In the emergency room, chaos is routine. But that night, it felt different. Every beep of the monitor felt like it belonged to me. The doctors did what they could. Machines hummed, hands moved fast, and I prayed. Not the kind of prayer you say in church, but the kind you whisper to your own shaking soul. Hours later, she opened her eyes. For a moment, I thought she was safe, but then the words came. "She's alive, but paralyzed." It hit me harder than any scream. Her body would live, but her dreams were trapped inside it. The girl who once ran, laughed, danced, was now a still photograph of what she used to be. Everyone said I should be proud she survived, but pride is a poor comfort when you watch someone break in all the places medicine can't reach. Her name was Aisha. She was all quiet eyes and trembling fingers. Every day I'd visit her room, change her dressings, check her pulse, and pretend not to see the tears she hid. She didn't talk much, but her silence was loud enough. Once she whispered, "Why did you save me if I can't live?" I didn't know how to answer, because I'd been asking myself the same question for years about my own life. She reminded me of someone I once loved and lost, my daughter, the one who didn't survive the winter when she was 6. Maybe that's why I couldn't let go. Maybe that's why I refused to believe Aisha's story had to end here. The doctors told me to stop. They said there was no use. Her spinal cord was too damaged. Her chances of walking, none. Accept it, they said. But acceptance felt like betrayal. So I began my quiet rebellion. Late at night, after shifts ended, I'd stay back in her room, massaging her legs, talking to her, telling her that muscles remember what the mind forgets. She would watch me with tired eyes and whisper, "You really think I'll walk again?" And I'd lie, beautifully, desperately. "Yes, I do." The head doctor found out. He called me into his office. He said, "If you continue this nonsense, you'll lose your license." I smiled. "I've already lost more than that," I said. Weeks passed. Her body didn't change, but her spirit did. She began to believe me, and that belief was medicine. When you work in hospitals long enough, you learn there's a kind of healing that doesn't show up on x-rays. But then one night, she crashed. A sudden seizure, her body shaking, monitors screaming. The doctors rushed in, ordered me to leave, but I refused. It was my shift, my patient, my promise. When the lead surgeon said there was nothing more to be done, I looked at Aisha and saw the reflection of the little girl I lost. I couldn't let it happen again. So I did what no nurse is supposed to do. I made a decision without permission. We prepared for surgery. The doctors warned me again, but I couldn't hear them anymore because sometimes hope doesn't ask for permission either. It took 6 hours. 6 hours of fear, sweat, and prayers made of shaking breath. When it was over, the world was silent. Then, a twitch, a movement. Her toes, they moved. No one spoke for a full minute. And then she cried, not from pain, but from recognition. She could feel. I remember her whispering through tears, "You didn't give up on me." And I whispered back, "Because you were my last hope too." A month later, she took her first step. Clumsy, slow, beautiful. When she walked toward me, I felt something bloom inside me, something I thought was dead long ago. Faith. She called me Amy after that, and I called her my miracle. I realized then, maybe I couldn't save everyone, but saving one person can still change everything. Ending. I am still here. Now, when I walk the hospital halls, I no longer feel tired. Every sound, the hum of machines, the echo of footsteps, reminds me that life is louder than death. People still come and go. Some stay, some fade, but I keep remembering Aisha's eyes the day she walked again, how they glowed like sunrise after endless night. I once thought my purpose was healing others, but she healed me first. I was 50 when I found my last hope, and she was 21 when she gave it back to me. We are both walking miracles, proof that sometimes the heart knows what medicine cannot. Sometimes, when I sit alone after shifts, I hear her laughter echo in the corridor. And I remember the rain, the blood, the fear, and the moment everything changed. Once, I believed I could save everyone. Now I know I only needed to save one, and that was enough.